that we may ultimately continue to bring you glory. We give you thanks and praise, and that all is well. Thank you, Father. Amen.
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 Um, hopefully everybody should have received the minutes in email. If not, I can share a screen if you did not get those.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as given.
Second by Lynette.
There has been a motion to accept the minutes. The second, any discussion on the minutes? Seeing that all in favor of said motion signified by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Okay. Just got a couple things. This past Wednesday, Tony, Gordon, and myself, we had a meeting with the Eastern Michigan. Got some clarification on some things dealing with the contract and the ability to counsel. So those things are looking promising, but none of those things were actually written in that particular contract that they had at that given time. So we will meet again on the, what is it, the 7th, I believe, next month beforehand. But they did change the overall number to 300, which is getting better. But I and others was concerned about, even given with the CDC things now, the classroom probably at 50%, but the large gathering still would be at 100. So that would still kind of like put us in a situation to where it's not feasible for us to have the conference at that time. But we did decide to go ahead and put some other things in place. I got them an old pamphlet, so they have a template to show how to produce the conference, because it's going to need to be up or posted on the TAP sites, for approval. Because if that's not up there, there's no way folks can register. And so I also sent them the criteria from Ford. Tony was supposed to get from GM, and I think Dana was supposed to get it from Chrysler. Their requirements for applying for the PDA, well, PDA, what they call it, Ford anyway, personal development. So,
Excuse me, Phil. Excuse me. Can everybody mute their phones if you're not speaking? It's a lot of feedback.
so kind of lost my train of thought here. So anyway, so let's set that off, and then part of the thing is the with the Ford PDA that you couldn't apply for a course no further than 30 days out, but up to 45 days. You can get it 45 days after the conference. So we want to have those things in place ahead of time. So I sent that information off to Eastern to do what they need to do to have everything in place for when it's time for us to pull the trigger to launch our first conference. Everything is in place. I did let me share two things right quick. One, just doing it now, so it will be available later on in the meeting under new business. I'm sharing this right here. I don't know if you can see it, but basically, trademark. Here, this is as of May 19th. You show that EBEC has Black Men in Union. So that doesn't mean anything as far as what we want to call our first conference, but I wanted to share that part of the process has been done. The other thing that I wanted to share, let me pull the screen up first. So,
Frank, please mute your phone.
share screen. Okay. A friend of mine sent me this, actually for eBay for a good way to raise money. But the only reason I'm bringing it up here is because if you go down here, they're doing this fundraising. She's a fundraiser for the University of Michigan, works out of Ann Arbor office. But if you go here, I just thought this was really interesting, University of Michigan Dearborn. And you start looking at everything that they're raising, they have put out there for raising funds for those different classes and things at the University of Dearborn. There is nothing, even under diversity, inclusion, there is nothing, I couldn't find it, I'm Skip, I'm glad you're here. Maybe you see something I don't see, but I don't see anything that's related to labor studies, or any part of that. So I only brought that up to show that our launch may go unhindered come whenever we're able to have our conference, when it's safe to do so. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So, and the only other things that I have is that what I posted in the agenda for later discussion. So other than that, now unless you have something else, you want to ask me about what's going on, or Gordon or Tony I may have missed something out of the discussion we had with Eastern Michigan. Feel free to add those points.
Yeah, if I could, just on the meeting with Eastern Michigan University, once again, another good meeting. We are going down the road together with them. It looks like it will happen with people hopefully getting the vaccine. You see more states opening up. I truly believe that we'll be able to have at least 300 people next year in February. For General Motors, it's 90 days ahead of time, and I forwarded that information to the university. The biggest thing is to be successful, we do have to get people registered. We can't sit back and take the position like we did with the University of Michigan. We actively have to make sure that people get registered and their voucher filled out. And in order to do that, we need to pretty soon here come up with our classes so they can enter it into their system. So General Motors is 90 days ahead. Ford, unfortunately, is only 30. We'll still have to see what Chrysler is, but we have to, I know at our location, we'll have to turn into not only people that register for the conference, but also follow it up and get the voucher, because that's how we're going to get paid on the back end too, for it to be successful for ourselves as well. So pretty soon in the next few meetings, we're going to have to come up with the classes we want to teach. That's all I have.
Anything else I may have missed, or Gordon, as far as related to that meeting?
I think you pretty much covered it, Brother Phil, but I mean, we're being optimistic, and I think we need to come up with a threshold, a month or date that we're going to be able to make a decision as to where the CDC is and how many folks we can have and how much time we have in order to prepare for a conference. So, again, it takes work, and it takes getting the word out. It takes advertisement. It takes getting those tuition funds in. So I think we need to think strategically and optimistically at the same time.
Yes, I agree with both of you. And yes, and as far as the registration, there is nothing that would prevent us from doing early registration for the conference itself, and then deal with the TAP, from the various locations, at the appropriate time. So that part I'm not really worried about, but I wanted to make sure that they had the information they needed to get it up. So when people go in to fill out for a TAP, since most of it is electronic now, that it's up there for Eastern, and it's a scholarship, that it's a conference, and everything that needs to be done at that particular time, so that we won't have any hiccups later. So we do need to nail those things down. But other than that, I don't have anything else for my personal report. A lot of other stuff will come out in the later discussion in the meeting as we move on. Further.
Hey, Phil, Brother Phil.
Oh, Dana, yeah, go ahead.
To revisit that conversation, Chrysler was 30 days out, but since we merged and we're a new company now, that may have changed. So I have to revisit that. A lot of things have changed since we got the new company now, Stellantis.
Oh, okay.
So I got to double check on that 30 days out.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yep.
I have nothing else for my report.
We'll make a motion to accept your report.
Second.
There's a motion to accept my report, properly second. Any more discussions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. Where's my agenda? Financial report?
Good afternoon. At this moment, we're at a total of $1,690.05. We still have, we have, since last meeting, had a lot of 21 memberships added. Period.
Motion to accept the financial report. Island.
There is a motion to accept the financial report, probably second. Any further discussion under the financial report? I will add that to the financial report that I did receive my first monies back for the 501c3, and I have not heard anything else from them as far as that's concerned. So the way I'm looking at it, it looks pretty good. So all in favor of said motion signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Okay, motion carried. Old business. So I had put down there that we had a, because we didn't discuss it at the last meeting, that there was a one suggestion for conference name, and that was tabled to give people opportunity to either go with this name, come up with another name, or whatever. So that's where we at under that, and then any other old business that we may have. But
I got some old business. Whatever happened to the Morehouse conference?
Skip.
I'm-
That's Kathy's
I was
question.
trying to defer to Skip on the slide.
That's Kathy's question, not Skip's.
Thanks, co-chair. Hi, everybody. We are still in the planning process. We have asked Phil and Walter to be on board on the steering committee, and we have had probably 2 or 3 meetings since they've been at it. It is because of COVID has been pushed back again. Right now, we have a tentative date of October 21st through the 24th for the actual conference. Morehouse has not been open. I think we may have a meeting tomorrow. We'll get more information about the status of the school right now, but it wasn't open. So everything right now has just been pushed back because of COVID. They're working on, we got the standing committees, and I can't remember which one Phil and Walter are on. And they could probably answer that question. But right now, everything is just basic, real basic. But the dates are October 21st to the 24th. There's a trainer coming up, which we'll talk about, I think, tomorrow. So once we get that date and that plan as to how the training was gonna go, we've asked Elise and Sam and maybe Skip to work that trainer probably in October, or no, August for that date. So, but the instructors have not been selected. The workshops have not been fully determined. We have an idea of the topics, which I don't have in front of me, but there was like 12 different workshops. And so once we meet again this week, assuming tomorrow, we'll have more information for that as far as that goes. But right now, the tentative dates have been moved back. Again, those dates, October 21 to the 24th. And I can answer any questions if anyone has any.
Kathy, if you're looking for another instructor, if you like, you can add my name to your list whenever you do come up with your classes and everything.
Okay, who's that? Is it Eric?
Yes, it is. Eric Eichelberger from Chicago.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll definitely let you all know once we get to that point. But right now, because of the pandemic and all the things that's going on in Georgia, they have kind of been up in the air and taking care of those kind of things ahead of the conference. But we're waiting basically on the school to open up so that we can move forward. The hotel has been selected, but hasn't been totally confirmed, but we're looking at the Westin downtown. I don't have prices yet, but because of the pandemic, we can't move forward with the hotel. We changed that date, I don't know how many times. So we'll have more definite information for you for the next meeting. Okay.
Okay, again, that brought up part of the old business was the name of the conference. And there was a name submitted. And I would like to know if, because I mean, we got to start having these things in place now. You know, we can't wait to the ninth hour to get these things done. So the one name was, the only name that was submitted was African Americans in Union Leadership. So, so now we're 2 months later, trying to decide what's the name of the conference itself going to be called.
Black men and women in union leadership.
Yes. No.
So let me ask a question, Brother Phil.
Yes, sir.
You said that Black Men in Unions is, by virtue of you applying, you own the name and the rights to Black Men in Unions. Is that correct?
Yeah, on behalf of eBay.
Right. So, I mean, is that something we're going to consider, or are we going to do something new because we are a new entity and we have another sponsor per se? Or is it the Black Men in Unions that will give us the draw of people to come to the conference? So we need to make that decision, and we need, again, to decide where we're at and where collectively we want to go.
Yes, I believe that BMIU is a draw, but I'm not one to say that that we gotta use it solely. I mean, we can use it in part with some, incorporate it as part of another name, or whatever, just like a lot of the different subcommittees. We had it's a BMIU joint, it's a different type of committee, ad hoc or whatever you have it. Even if it's not the main title, even if BMIU was actually maybe part a subtitle of it or something like that, just for the catch sake, you know what I'm saying? So, but again, I only bring it up as another option that's available to us. So, but I'm trying to leave it to the body as opposed to just arbitrarily just making a decision on behalf of the body. Trying to leave it up to the body. Come on, let's put something together that sounds good, that's catchy, and we can make this thing happen the way it's supposed to happen.
So let me ask you this. You just said eBay has BMIU, right?
Yes.
So since this is being our starter, Erica, hold on a second, okay? With it, Erica, hold on. With this being a starter, couldn't we maybe play off BMIU this year and maybe look to change it next year, knowing that we've pulled in, we were able to pull into the name and play with our people that we've had that knows the name, and maybe look into explaining us some change when we change the name. I'm just looking at that it would be a good selling point of us pulling in some of our people that we know may not know what's going on, but can still be enthusiastic of joining the conference with us, even though it's under us now.
I think again, it's going to be up to the body.
I'm just putting it out there for other people.
I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Skip, and then Raymond.
My suggestion and thought is that you should get a name and use your whatever name you're going to use, because when you start asking for money and people start donating, even if there's some confusion between Dearborn and you, even though you may win that because you got the legalities on your side, people may not donate because of the confusion. You want a name clear cut, knowing it's coming to you, knowing what the conference name that you're doing, and they'll donate right to you, as opposed to, we don't know what happened. Did they steal the name? Did they legally get the name? What's going on? I'm stuck. I'm not going to donate. You want that clear cut when you're asking for monies. My thoughts. Thank you.
Raymond.
I just wanted to make the suggestion, just to put in a name that, like Skip said, a direct name would be something that's very key, but also in the background mentioning what it's powered by. And I was thinking something like diversity and community, like diversity and labor studies, or diversity and community labor studies powered by BMIU. To put in the back of the head, like to put out in front that it's still a BMIU thing, which we have ownership of, but this is the new entity. And it also brings the diversity spotlight on it, so it don't look directly at we're targeting one audience and exiling people with this new thing coming out, like come one, come all. So it's wide open, and we can still push the influence of the culture of BMIU, but we want to get feet in the door, launching this new entity somewhere along those lines. That's all I got.
Okay. So what have you? So it looks like, do we want to, come with some totally new or something, a combination of new and old, or some combination of, of old. So I think Skip does make a valid point, to reduce the confusion between who we get money from. Because I mean, I think the goal would be to have the ability to reach out to any and everyone without any confusion, so I believe that, so.
If there's a legal challenge and you may win that challenge, the donations will be frozen until that challenge is cleared up.
So I'm not as hard locked in as I have been previously about, sticking to BMIU as I think we can still play off of it, but as far as the name of the conference, maybe not, so. But again, I'm just here as your facilitator, and I'm leaving it up to body, to make a decision.
Which means somebody got to make a motion, put it on the floor so a vote can happen. Sorry.
That part right there.
I would like to make a motion that we use.
Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. There was a hand before you. Hold on just a second. Gerald.
Yeah, how's everybody? I think, I concur with, with Skip, that if we're starting something new, then let's be about it. And let's, it's just like a church when it splits from another church. You can't use the old church's name and whatnot. If you're new and we're a new entity, then we need to come on and step forward and bold and confident on who we are. And, where appropriate, if there's any questions, then deal with the questions. But to stop the confusion and things that can come down the line, or if there's some people, some saboteurs that might try to play around, we eliminate all that by just coming out with who we are. We've decided to move on. Let's do it. Thank you.
Let's see. Looks like Linnell is at the top.
All right, brothers and sisters. I do agree with going along with the being new, but as just to touch on what Toddy said earlier, on the coattails, basically we can, I would say, use Common Ground Education Foundation with Friends of BMIU. If that would be supportive in creating a name for this conference.
Okay. Gordon?
I think again, brother, you've mentioned, there is some sense of urgency, but I don't think we're going to get to that today. I think again, if folks really give it some critical thought and submit something in writing to you or to whomever on the board, so we can, again, we can review those suggestions and come to a consensus or take a vote on, again, the projected names. We used to do this simply, in terms of coming up with conference workshops or whatever. So again, we have to do some brainstorming. I wouldn't consider it to be now because, again, I think we should give it some thought. and come back maybe at the next meeting and be prepared to tackle that and narrow it down and come up with a name for the conference. That's my suggestion.
We do have names in the chat, and they will be saved when this meeting is over. And I can actually compile a list of names that we can actually vote on anonymously in the group. And maybe, I'm not making a motion, but that, you know, I could have the secretary send out a request for names of the conference. We can get them back in, we can compile a list, blah, 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 blah. And we can work on it and vote maybe at the next meeting. But
Point of order.
But again,
Point of order. If GP made a motion, I'll second that. Was that a motion, GP?
Yes, sir.
I second.
all righty. So what was your motion again?
I would suggest again that people give it some critical thought. I bet we could say or table it or whatever, but I'm gonna say that we come up with names, they can be submitted, and we can have, we can discuss it at the next meeting and come up with the name.
I second that motion.
Okay, there is a motion in short to take time to come up with the name for the conference again, and make a decision at the next meeting. Any further discussion on said motion?
You're keeping the names that's in the chat too, right?
Yes, yes, those will be saved, those will be added to the list. So,
Okay.
but I'm still will request any further names, including the one that Gord submitted a couple months ago. So, any other discussion on this said motion?
Let me just make it clear, are we submitting them to the recording secretary so that folks know, understand, is that what we're doing, or to Shauna?
Yeah, because I'm happy to send out a thing, and the recording secretary gets a copy of everything in from the Zoom call. So
good,
chat everything. So that's
great.
That's not a problem.
Wonderful.
Any more discussion? Seeing that, all in favor of said motion of coming back next month with a decision and taking names in the meantime for the name of the conference itself, signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Okay, motion carried. What else do we have? I did skip over committees. So I did the media and then logo.
So go.
Media, Dana.
Yeah, I'm here. I tried sending over the guys some pictures, but they're a little distorted, so I'm still working on that. Also, Phil or Pam, if you guys have the correction of what we voted on last meeting, because there was an S on grounds instead of common ground. That logo we voted on last time. If you got that with the new spelling on it, if one of you guys could send that to me, that would be great.
Pam.
Yes, sir.
About the logo?
Oh, well, yeah, right. Okay, so the logo is pretty much done, but it has not been finished so that we can use it. So it needs, he said he had a graphic artist that was gonna do something to it. I don't know what it is, but he's promised that I would have it this week.
Okay, when you get that, Pam, can you please send that to me?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. And that concludes my report.
Okay.
To accept.
Support.
Okay, hadn't been doing that, but okay. Motion to set the committee reports signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Hey,
Motion carried. New business. So I don't know if you guys read what I put down under new business. This is, we don't have to deal with it today, but it's, these are things that we have to think about, when we want to start the name of the courses, the instructional staff, and then we, whatever title, because I could not think of what Skip's former title was, but do we want to have that type of person in place as well? So those were some of my thoughts about the upcoming conference. Skip.
Just for the TAP purposes, the names of the classes should not be sexy and jazzy and all that kind of thing. At least you need at least 4 to 6 core classes, clearly stated, advanced leadership, that kind of stuff, grievance handling, that kind of stuff TAP approves without getting back with you and having you write an explanation of what this class is about. So I'm just letting you know, if you want TAP to approve it easier, then you want those core classes clear cut and labor related, labor education related. Thank you.
Hey, Brother Phil,
Yeah, go ahead, Dana.
you still got the list of the classes that people put in their recommendation of? That was sent out that we did a while ago to those that responded to it.
I'm sure I did not look, but I will look.
Maybe that's something else you could send out, to the recording secretary. She can send out to everybody so they can we can take a poll on that. And then you as the press can review it before you send it out to make sure they're properly named, as Skip said.
Skip, could you please list the 6 classes that you feel are advanced leadership, grievance handling, parliamentary procedure, what else?
Collective bargaining. What did you say, Tony? Give me the one you said. Collective bargaining, grievance handling, parliamentary procedure, advanced leadership.
Yep.
Diversity and inclusion.
Yes. That's big on their agenda. That's 5 right there. You could come up with another one or not, but you got a nucleus that can be approved, and you can add a couple sexy names down the road, but those core will carry you through TAP.
Hey,
Thank you.
Skip.
Yes.
Skip, was Ruth the original? Was the male-female relations class one of the originals? Or was that one of the sexy ones that get added on?
No,
later on?
that was on the sexy side. That we had to explain that and how was that related to labor education.
Only
And it
reason
was
I'm asking that now, only reason I'm asking is because since it has started out like that, it is extremely changed over the process. So it's nowhere near a sexy class like it used to be in popping when we first came out there and things like that.
right.
So it's, I'm sorry.
I don't care what goes on in the classroom. I'm just saying what's going to get past TAP, get TAP approved.
I got you. I'm just trying to get an understanding of it, brother. Thank you.
That one could get TAP approved as well, because how we sold it was that the relationship between men and women in the workplace and how we can further that communication and further that relationship so we can all work together and be better for the company. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
What about
Drive
the
everything back
retirement?
to work related.
Retirement.
GP? Please,
Retirement
GP.
sold easily. That wasn't a problem either.
Okay.
So what
So-
about the African
Wait,
American?
wait.
One meeting.
Wait a minute. Use the hands up in the chat so we can be orderly. Please, thank you. GP,
So I just had a question regarding, I guess in relation to going forward, is it our plan to do as we used to do with Black men in unions, to have the participants to decide what the workshops would be? I'm just asking that question. I'm throwing it out there. Or is it just by virtue of us doing it for the first time, we'll be the ones to select what we're going to do and the workshops that we're going to present? But I'm asking about going forward from that point. I know it'd be hard to get a group together and decide, you know, at this point, if we're starting now, we would certainly choose those workshops. My question is, going forward, is it our plan to do as we've done with the University of Michigan for the participants to basically come together and decide those workshops?
Cricket.
Crickets.
That's something we should revisit at that time. I mean,
Is that a
as of
motion?
right now, we need to concentrate on the classes, and a list of classes was already submitted, recommendations by some of us. So like I said, Phil should go over them, send them out. We take a survey on them amongst us on the board and move forward. And then after we have our first conference, we can discuss that at the conference. Take a survey. What classes would you like to see in the future? And we work on that. But we're spending a lot of time going back and forth over classes that we've already discussed many months ago. So let's just get the survey out, see what we're working with. We can call, Phil can call a meeting between himself, Skip, and GP and myself, or Tony, or whoever. And we go from there. Make sure we have the core classes that we need that are intact, so it doesn't put up a red flag, so we can get the process streamlined through. And then we can work on additional classes that are sexy in nature and name.
Shauna.
I had the minutes on my screen of the different workshops we decided on, everyone's suggestions. If you want me to share the screen, or you can pull them up. It was from October 18 of all the courses and workshops that were suggested.
Yeah, go ahead and share it. That way it'll be in the video, because you're not recording it. That way we know where it's at.
Well, you're saying I can't share a host disabled screen share.
She's supposed to have been able to request. She's supposed to have been able to request.
You got to make her a co-host, Phil.
You have to make
She'll
a
be able to
co-host.
share.
Yeah.
Okay, you should be able to do it now.
Okay, how can I move it? How can I move the screen? The rest of the classes start over here at number 8. And then at the bottom, class workshops, print media.
Got some good TAP approved names on there. FEMLA, Health and Safety. the committee steward person training, all of that, they should go for it. Basic union skills or something of that sort. Effective meetings is parliamentary procedure, basically. All of those, TAP has a history of approving. So you have some in addition to the 5 we wrote down.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we can add those on that with them, and actually I can put it into a poll where we can actually vote on it.
Anything political, they always gave us heartburn about, because the other side, they would always say the other side will complain if we run Democratic classes. We always got some S about that. Got to be down the road and in the middle, basically, for everybody.
Okay.
Kip, was there any classes that just weren't funded? They just came out and said no?
Yes, and I can't remember the name of those classes, but what we did was play with them and change the name and resubmit them. Once you build that relationship with TAP and they trust you and you build your name, then basically they were letting us just add a class and they were paying for it. But before that, we had to write an explanation to TAP as to why we were offering this class.
So do you suggest that we make an explanation for each class, or should we just submit them?
Those core classes that we talked about, those can be submitted because they have a history of those classes already being approved.
Right.
I wouldn't submit an explanation unless they come back to you and ask you for it.
Okay.
Then at this stage anyway, Eastern Michigan is going to be doing the posting anyway.
Right. And that may get you in the door a whole lot easier with that Eastern Michigan name attached with the whatever name you're going to name the conference.
Okay.
Contractually, that's what those PDA funds are for, personal development.
Yeah, well, we still got them.
Hello.
Okay, all right, well, that sounds good. There. So we got that blah, 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 blah. And my only other, issue was that were we going to select an individual or to be, i.e., whatever your Skip's past title was? Do we need a representative of from the board to hold that position? Who's that? One of them Chapmans.
Hey, brother Phil, this is
okay.
This is really going out to you as well as for the understanding from Mr. Turner in regards to labor. Our labor classes that we're doing. Is it possible to teach a class on labor and charities? Because we normally support a lot of charities, and through our labor, through our locals and stuff. Like when we hand out food and understanding meaning of teaching how to support labor through helping charities. Would that be a class that would be of something that maybe TAP would look at?
I can't speak on that specifically, but again, those are, a list of classes that can be submitted, and then we would vote on it as a whole. And then, I'm pretty sure that whatever it is, we can make it work. So it's just all about the phrasing. If the title itself isn't appealing, so. But I'm no expert on that part of it. But we're taking all suggestions and we're gonna put them in the poll, and then we just vote on the top, whatever number we want, 10, 12, whatever the case may be, so. And back to my question, do we want to have a lead person which I know it can't be me because I'm more or less, because of my position here, I'm more like Rollo, you know, so. Eric,
So are we talking a position that was, we're not talking about the coordinator position, correct?
no, not
If-
conference coordinators. Yeah, no, no,
Okay.
not conference coordinator.
So Skip,
I
what was your,
wasn't trying to use overseer, but
okay, so Skip,
I
what
was
was your
trying.
title that you held over BMIU?
Coordinator, coordinator.
So it's just a coordinator.
Coordinator of the Labor Study Center. That's what it was.
So Phil, are you asking, or do we want to create a coordinator position for our organization? Or
No, that is my question. Do we want to have that position that person would be over the conferences itself? You know, we still have the business side, but you know, we got the educational side, you know, and do we have to have one? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I'm just throwing it out there, you know, because we're emulating a lot of, you know, the past in order to, you know, to make the future work. So that was just my question. You know, is that something we need? Do we want or not want? Whatever the case may be. Skip?
Mike should consider that, and I'll tell you why. Because whoever that person is going to be asking for money, is going to be writing letters, and the funders are going to be familiar with whoever they're sending money to. So that person, and it should be somebody on the board, one of you, new faces in the new program, to make yourself known and carry that ball, because you'll be the one asking for money, you'll be the one writing letters, you'll be the one asking for support, that sort of thing. It was, we received, Michigan received a lot of money based on a familiar face to the UAW, and that face was mine at that point. So I'm just saying, you need that spokesperson in a lot of instances.
Yeah, but I think our setup.
Wait. Eric, then GP.
So Phil, I'd like to set a motion that we vote on having this position that Skip carried as being the face of the organization, and to an extent, I guess, our mouthpiece, so that we can try to reach out and receive the funds that we would need to help push us forward on pushing this organization as a positive.
Board.
There is a motion, probably second, to have a lead coordinator for the conferences. Probably second. Any further discussion on that part?
Yes. So what's Skip, who did you raise money from?
General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, other universities, AFL, CIO, IUOE, the insulators, any international union, we were writing letters to anybody, everybody.
And how much did they give?
Gosh, I don't have those records in front of me, but all of you know about General Holyfield, right? He used to give me $5 grand for Black men in unions every year, but he didn't want nobody to know. But he would give it out. And I thought the feds were going to come ask me some questions because I didn't know where the money was coming from. But I know Michigan got that money, not me.
Right.
You burnt the checks, didn't
you?
So we're in a different position though now, because the CHRs aren't doing that. They essentially dissolved all that, and now everything's out of the goodness of the corporation's heart. So
yeah, but not CHR. He was vice president. You're gonna need some higher ups to approve CHR's request for your funds.
I can appreciate that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Living in today's world, experiencing what's going on right now, these corporations aren't giving it anything. So if we're going out fundraising individually, I get it. We wouldn't want it to go to Eastern Michigan. We would want it to go to us. So I think it would look different than what it did before.
which is all the more reason you need that person. And when that person is selling that request, everybody has to know where that money is going and what you're going to do with it.
I think the whole conference is different now, though. How we're going to get our money is getting as many members there as possible, exercising their TAP contractual privileges, and us getting essentially 35% of that back to us. So I guess, you know,
In
I don't know,
addition,
maybe we
in
need to
addition to
examine this
whatever
offline.
else you can fundraise, I agree with you. That's a basic set of money. Depending upon how many people come, you're getting 35% of that money. But in addition to that, you can fundraise and get some additional money. Don't discount it because it's a way of raising money. If you have a golf outing, you're going to want those people to contribute, donate whatever they're going to do to the outing, whether they send people or not.
Okay, so
that
was
money
this going
is going to go to you guys as an organization?
Right. Okay.
So in other words, we still need a mouthpiece. We still need a face piece. We still, when they hear our organization,
yes,
they need the person that they visualize and who's going to be the first person they think of when they hear it. So, I mean, that's the main point of that motion. I think we should push somebody up there. We still need somebody that's going to be the focal point of our organization.
The conferences.
The conferences. I'm sorry, I'm not saying it correctly, but you guys know what I'm trying to get.
It's two different sides. We're not trying to mix and mingle. You know, the fundraising, all that's going to be the conference. And I swear I was not mistaken. But the whole premise of us doing this is so we can, down the road, we would put on the whole show where we didn't need Eastern or anybody else. So I not less I missed something in the beginning that I thought that was the purpose. So that's one of the reasons why I asked that we want to have this. I guess I'm gonna call it lead coordinator for the conference side, which, given Skip's explanation of what he did, makes it even more logical for us to do.
Okay.
All right, so we got Tony already speak. GP and then Lynette.
Point of order. We still had a motion on. We had a motion.
Excuse me, we were in discussion.
I was going to speak to the motion, but I will defer, and I would like to go to the vote for the motion. I'm in favor of the motion. I still want to make a comment afterwards.
Okay. Lynette, did you have discussion under the motion? Yes, not. Hello? No.
I'll wait till we go ahead and vote. Then I'll speak on.
Okay, all right. There is a motion, probably second, to have a lead coordinator. That's what I'm calling it, whatever title that we're going to end up calling that individual. There is no more discussion. All in favor of said motion signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Nay. Okay, motion carried. Done. Thank you very much. Okay, good. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, I don't know, there is still new, do we have any more new business? GP?
I'm going to volunteer for the lead coordinator position. And I want to paraphrase it by saying it would be like a 3-year gig, and I want to train someone else to come after me, or whomever the person might be, whomever y'all suggest. But again, we have to make sure that we're training another person for the opportunity.
I would like to nominate Tony Toddy, please. Also. Second that.
I appreciate that, but I can't accept. I got too much going on with the local.
See, man, where you been? Come on, come on, get in, come on. Oh, I miss you, man. Come here, give me a hug. Man, been a long time.
Somebody
Really?
need to mute. Somebody need to mute.
Exactly.
I don't know what that was going on.
You weren't able to, you were gonna get some help from math assistants.
I did get it. I'm gonna take my test on.
Send him a text. Okay, no, send him a text tonight and let him know that everything is good.
Eric?
Okay, so everybody need to mute that's not talking, please.
Eric?
I like to say a motion that with the other suggestions that we're making, we'll make suggestions for possible disposition of people for us to look into for the next meeting with the other suggestions we have as far as the conference titles and the classes. So maybe if it's possible, this can something also be composed by the secretary for us to look into and put a vote to on our next meeting for possible nominations for the position.
Support that.
Okay, there is a motion by the second to look at investigating somebody for the lead coordinator position. Any further discussion? Seeing that, all in favor of said motion signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay? Okay, done. Chapman?
I was just gonna say, I nominate Gordon Pack. If he's willing to volunteer, I support that.
Thank you, honey.
Okay, so it looks like that's being put out to next month. So, okay, so any more new business? Good welfare?
I got a little bit of
Let's
welfare.
do it,
just so
John.
you know.
Well, go ahead, Skip.
Some of you, and I probably should ask you, I'm starting writing, I've already started writing a memoir, a story, and I have a list of questions. If anybody wants the questions to answer, and believe me, they're not yes and no answers. It's going to require some thought and some writing. If you're interested in answering the questions, I'll email you that list. I'm not sending them blast to 100 people because I'm not trying to do that. I want people that want to answer the questions, and that's why I'm throwing it out there. So if I have your email and you want to do it, I can send it, or you can just email me. It might be the easiest way, and I'll return your email back to you. So I make sure I got the right email and not an old email.
You have my current email. You have my current email.
Can you put your email in the notes, Skip, so we can get it out of here?
We'll do it right now.
So you.
See it?
It's there.
Okay. And the email just say questions, please, or whatever you're going to say, and I'll send you the questions. Who works for Ford?
A lot of us.
You might want to get that approved while you got a friendly person in the chair while you have a friendly person in the chair.
Wow.
True that. Yeah, we got it on both levels, VP and president.
Mhm.
I thought you were gonna make fun of their profit sharing, Skip. My bad.
Oh, no, no, no. Are you kidding? I never make fun of profit sharing.
Share some of that wealth, brother.
Mhm. First time for everything. Okay, well. A motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
The motion to adjourn, properly second. All in favor of said motion signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Motion carried.
Have a good night.
Couple of us got to go
Good
to
seeing
work.
everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
All right,
night.
appreciate y'all, appreciate you.
Be
All
safe,
right.
everybody.
All right.
Yes.